a day from now, an election underway. Whew. Terri Loew is here, Director of Elections at the Calhoun County Clerk's Office, to set us straight, even here in the 11th hour. Terri.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for coming today. This lady emailed me at 3:30 this morning. Did you ever sleep last night?
It was a short night.
It was a short night.
Another short night.
Yeah, right. You've got a few, I imagine,
Yes.
this time of year. All right. Well, we have a number of questions. We're going to try to sort through some of the things that you may ask about. And so, tomorrow is the big day. Polls open at what time?
7 a.m.
Okay. Do you expect they're going to be lined up at 7 a.m.?
I do.
Yeah, I kind of think they would be.
We're prepared.
Folks are ready for this to be over, so they might be there tapping their toe at 7 a.m. waiting. All right. So one of the questions that comes up has to do with absentee ballots. Now, it seems a little strange that maybe somebody might ask you today for an absentee ballot for an election that happens tomorrow, but they may have their reasons, right?
Correct. Even over the weekend, I heard of an emergency situation.
Okay, see?
So, yes, today, voters that qualify for an absentee ballot can go to their local clerk's office. Up until 4 p.m., they can fill out their application stating their reasoning. Even if they're 60 years of age and older, or if they last minute find out they're going to be out of town tomorrow and not in their community. So they would need to vote that ballot in person in the clerk's office. It can't be removed from their office.
Too late for that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that is a possibility.
All right, so it's good to know you have these safeguards in place, these options.
Yes.
Like you say, if someone suddenly has to be away tomorrow, then there's that. Have you, I don't know if you keep statistics this early, but have you seen more absentee ballots go out this year than usual?
Definitely.
Really?
Definitely.
Okay.
I can give you one example. In Marshall City, normally there may be around 700. They're already surpassed 950
Oh, my.
absentee requests.
So we don't presume that all of those people are 60 or older or going to be out of town tomorrow. But some of them may have decided, I'm going to do this and get it over with.
Well, there are certain reasons to request an absentee ballot. Those two we mentioned are the most common.
Right.
So,
Okay. Now, what is the difference between an absentee ballot and voting early, which we don't have in Michigan?
correct. Michigan has that absent voter process, but it is different than early voting that some states do offer. So if you do qualify, you can request an absentee ballot, and this is the same ballot that's used at the precinct.
Okay.
The differences are the absentee ballots are not processed prior to Election Day. And not everyone qualifies to vote absentee. We talked about some of those reasons, but so just because is not one of those reasons that you can go today at the polls, right?
Okay.
I would like to stress the importance that the absentee ballots, they're already out there in circulation, need to be returned to their local clerk.
Okay.
They must be returned by 8 p.m. tomorrow, Election Day. The local clerk will forward all sealed absentee voter envelopes to the precinct or counting board tomorrow on Election Day, and they will be processed with all other ballots. Now, it sounded strange to me, but I was asked the question, are my absentee votes counted only if the election is close? It's like, heavens no.
Wow.
All absentee ballots are counted, and they are kept secure and sealed right up until they're delivered tomorrow to the polls or the counting boards.
Wow. Somebody actually asked that, huh? So you only need this if it's close, right?
Yeah,
No.
I've never heard that one before.
Oh,
That's a new one.
Okay. When we come back in just a minute, there are more of these issues of this nature to discuss, not to mention checks and balances and all that. We'll talk with Terri about that. And you hear the national reports about concerns over voter intimidation and stuff like that. That would never happen here, I'm sure. But Terri must prepare for such things. We'll talk about that, too, when we come back in a minute on WBCK. WBCK Monday. Terri Loew is here, Director of Elections at the Calhoun County Clerk's Office. Checks and balances. You must have a spreadsheet 5 miles long to keep track of all this.
And growing.
And growing, right. What are some of those?
Well, the county and local staff has performed initial testing, preliminary testing, public testing of our voting equipment and the software. So we are ready for Election Day.
Okay.
Now, after the election, the results are reported at the local level. The County Board of Canvassers has up to 14 days to review the paperwork and ensure that everything is in order and in balance, and that we have the same number of ballots as we have voters. Important detail.
Now, you said up to 14 days. That sort of infers that if they don't want to, they don't. But I imagine that it's a standard process for them to review that.
We start the very next day, Wednesday at 1 p.m., and we
Get to
work
sleep in.
until, yeah, you betcha. It's that election
Yes, wind up.
exhaustion.
Yeah.
Then we work each day until we're complete.
Okay.
So we will be closed Friday in observance of Veterans Day.
Right.
So then we continue on the next morning and just keep going until all 62 precincts are balanced and in order.
Okay.
But then from that point, then the results of the state offices are forwarded to the State Board of Canvassers for their review and certification. So you can see all the different levels that participate in certifying the results. Okay.
All right. Security. Here's part of what we were talking about earlier, the notion that you have to make sure things are secure, right?
Yes, huge item this time. You may have heard of hackers breaching the voter registration systems in other states. Well, Michigan has taken these threats very seriously, and our data has not been compromised. A few examples. The Bureau works very closely with security experts in the Department of Technology Management and Budget to ensure that we're using every tool available to us to protect all applications associated with our qualified voter file, QVF as we call it, and to keep it safe and secure. Now, our QVF system is backed up daily, and each individual change to each individual record is backed up daily and maintained permanently. And so our nightly replication process provides additional backup at the local level. And also all the county, city, and township staff members also do their part to ensure system security by administering the standard computer-related security measures.
Okay. Yeah, this is sort of where we're straddling now. The advent of technology sure could make it a lot easier to vote, but we've just got to make sure that's secure. And so these things are, I presume, being debated at levels way beyond you and me. But
yes, they are, and we can see some of that heightened security measures are filtering down to us at this level. For example, voter registration accounts that haven't been used in the past 60 days have been suspended. So someone can't option the access through an inactive account. Okay, we haven't seen that measure taken before. On election night, the systems we use to report results to the state will not even be open until 8 p.m. Usually we have a chance to do some testing and practicing.
I see.
And they've also mailed a second set of secure usernames and passwords. We are prepared to report results to the state by paper in the event an emergency occurs with our normal reporting system.
The old-fashioned way.
We haven't done that before. Yeah, a long time.
Okay.
We have emergency preparations in place statewide in the event the internet service is disrupted. And in the event of an interruption in our normal means of communication, the state has taken numerous steps to ensure that they can remain in touch with the county clerks. So I've been in contact with our county emergency manager regarding radio communication, which it does not affect. It's not affected by power outages,
Okay.
telephone and cell phone outages, or even loss of internet access.
All right. And when we come back in a minute, we'll talk about other security measures and some last thoughts for you as you contemplate visiting the polls tomorrow. Terri Loew is here, Director of Elections at the Calhoun County Clerk's office. We're here with Terri Loew. A few more minutes, Director of Elections in Calhoun County in the Clerk's office. Security now, we've heard these national stories about voter intimidation and stuff like that. Do you have to put certain things into place maybe you haven't before to deal with that if it were to happen?
Well, yes. A lot of things are in place. There is the option of challengers, and even political parties can just have their challengers show up tomorrow. They don't have to let us know ahead of time. But they can't touch anything, and they can't disrupt the process.
So the mechanism is there for them to observe if they want to.
Yes,
I see. Okay.
And challenge if they feel there's a cause to challenge.
And so if someone is in line to vote and someone comes up to them and tries to intimidate them somehow, that's a police matter, I imagine, right?
Yes, the chairperson will take over and inform the voter that that's not allowable in the precinct. If it continues, escort them out. And if it continues, yes, they will be calling our local sheriff's office.
I'm taking a deep breath right now. Everybody's going to behave, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
All right. So what else do we need to know here, Terri?
Well, I did want to point out about our vote tabulation process. Each system is a standalone system. So like the laptop that you see when you enter the polling place, it does not have access to the internet on Election Day. And there, at no time is the optical scan tabulator ever connected to the internet. Election night, the clerks will modem their results through a fax line to the county. And then the computer receiving results of the county does not have internet access. The results from each precinct are mapped to a massive Excel spreadsheet. Then we do a simple transfer, so results will appear on Election Magic for the public to see. And we'll continue to test this process throughout today and tomorrow.
All right.
There's no option for hacking in our systems.
That's the point, that if the computers aren't connected to the internet, it makes them tougher to hack.
Yep, exactly.
Right, okay. Bring a photo ID, right?
Yes, there is a procedure in place to follow if you don't have your photo ID, but it's just easier and quicker if you come prepared.
All right.
And elections don't just happen. I'd like to give a shout out to our 4 cities and 19 township clerks. These are the behind-the-scenes election officials that make it all happen on Election Day. And many, many, many hours, extra hours, have been devoted by these dedicated ladies to ensure a smooth Election Day. So be sure to reach out, say thank you to your clerk, or send them a note or a card. If I could, I'd send a bouquet of flowers to each one of them tomorrow. They work very, very hard in preparing for this day.
Yeah, and to say nothing, too, of the volunteers, right, that they're going to staff those precincts. Those folks are just ready and waiting. I know when I go to my polling place, it's often the same people you always see. They're dedicated to that.
Very dedicated. And they also put in a lot of time for preparation. Just double checking, getting familiar with the steps and processes again, and all these extra things that we prepare for but don't usually happen in a smaller election. But we've got to cover everything this time.
Right. All right. Plenty of opportunities out there to see your ballot as well. And later today, we'll post on our webpage all the interviews we've done about election 2016, and you can do that. And of course, your website is ready and raring to go if folks have questions there, too.
It is. Our address is co.calhoun.mid.us. And yes, that's one of the things I'm getting. I'm not sure of voter guides that are available, but one way you can do is go on, view your sample ballot. Any candidate's name that's blue, underlined, and highlighted, you can click on their name, and it will take you right to their website so you can learn more about that candidate.
All right. Hopefully we know by now, but there might be a few out there still arguing and these are some of the options you have.
Yes.
Terri, thanks for all your help, and good luck tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Terri Loew is the Director of Elections, Calhoun County Clerk's Office on WBCK.